Hey guys, Will from Tested.
I'm Norm from Tested.
Norm, today I have the Razer Onza gamepad.
Man, we've been waiting this for a long time.
Yeah, we saw this at CES in 2010.
Yeah, over
that was
a
a
year
year and a
ago.
half ago
Yeah.
at this point. So it's out. I took it home this weekend. I spent some time with it. It's pretty good. It's interesting.
Surprisingly, it's a third-party Xbox and PC game controller, officially licensed with Microsoft, made by Razer.
The buttons on the face, fantastic. They're mechanical. They're a little different than a traditional Xbox gamepad's buttons.
Oh, which you have right here.
If you look at them in profile, then you can see the throw on the buttons is very, very small.
Some of the ABXY buttons, when you say throw, it doesn't pop out.
The distance from
as
push
much.
to not push,
Yes.
very, very small. It lets you really tap stuff fast. If you're doing something where you need to rock back and forth to do,
it's like
tap for maximum speed or whatever. The other thing that's awesome, they light up.
Oh,
Yeah.
lighting up buttons.
Lighting up, those don't light up. Those look like they should, but they don't. Those are fantastic. I like them a lot. It's a big adjustment from the more pronounced big buttons. I mean, it's the first thing people say when they get their hands on this thing. The next thing is the throw on the sticks, on the analog sticks.
Okay.
Well, first off, they're taller than the traditional Xbox.
They stick up further?
gamepads. They stick
Okay.
up further, so that gives you a wider range of movement, a little bit more precision inside that range, and they're adjustable tension. So you twist this ring.
Each analog stick has a ring with
It's like
beneath
a
the button.
grooved, yeah.
And you can twist it clockwise to make it
Tighter.
And the ring actually goes, pushes a spring down into the controller, and it gets how tight?
It's pretty tight. I mean, it's tighter than any modern controller gamepad.
Yeah.
I would say no one's ever going to use this in the fully tight position. And actually, when you have it in the the maximum tension position, it blocks the clicky of the sticks when you're at
So you
when you're at
can't
an edge.
depress
So you can't
sticks.
when it's like this, I can't click the stick, which is a bummer. That is a feature that I don't think people are really going to use. It's the kind of thing you're going to set once, you're never going to touch again. I found myself using it on maximum looseness.
Well, it's
all
supposed to be for
weekend.
shooters. Some people, for the right stick, for the aiming, they like to have more like a
Crazy
tense,
talk, as far
analog
as I'm
stick.
concerned. Next thing, the D-pad. Now,
All right.
now we're getting into the questionable territory. I found that this D-pad, which is a little bit more pronounced, it's 4 physical buttons instead of the disc, the rocker-based disc. So where the ABXY buttons have mechanical clicky switches underneath them, the D-pad seems like it's just a membrane. It doesn't click when you press. I couldn't find out anything about this. Basically, it's a big throw on this.
Yeah, they stick out a lot.
Yeah.
Like you actually have to press them. You know
You
you're
have to
pressing
really
the button.
press. I found that it worked really well in games like Mortal Kombat that require kind of more tappy-based motion. I'm much more likely to pull off complicated combos with this pad than I am with the traditional disc-based one.
Okay.
However, it's a little tricky when you need an 8-way sensation because you have to actually hit both buttons at the same time. It doesn't work that well.
So unlike the new Xbox 360 official design, where you can switch it from an 8-way to a 4-way, this is just a very pronounced 4-way D-pad.
So I put this in front of Brad, who's actually good at fighting games.
Okay.
And he found that he prefers the twisty
official
Microsoft
one.
Which I haven't actually spent enough time with to be able to judge one way or the other. You're going to notice there's 2 additional bumpers up here. These are programmable.
The top ones.
The top ones are programmable. And the way you program them is when it's plugged in, you just hold this button down. It tells you what it's currently assigned to with this light up thing in the middle. And then on to change it, all you do is hold it down and press a different button. It's dead simple.
So you can't program like a sequence of buttons.
Nope.
It's just changing it to hit like the X or
You
Y
can't make it a
button.
win button.
Got it.
But I have to say, I don't actually like having 2 sets of bumpers up here. It's one too many bumpers. It makes it really hard to hit the one that you want to hit,
Well, it's
especially
weird
if you're holding
because,
with 2 fingers.
Yeah, you game with 2 fingers.
Depends on the game.
For the trigger and the buttons, the shoulder
Right.
buttons. I found when I used it, it was easy because I just used the one index
You're up and
finger.
down.
And so it was very easy for me to go from the trigger to the shoulder and then stretch just a little bit for the programmable shoulder.
Well, so the thing I did pretty quickly was just reprogram the top buttons as right bumper and left bumper. That solved the problem entirely. So it's a little bit different profile in the trigger.
Yep.
It's a shorter throw than the traditional Xbox controller on this as well, which means you can get a little tighter precision. When I played racing games, I expected to find some problems with acceleration and stuff like that. Because you want to have a more analog control
like
when you're
playing
using
GTA
gas
4
and
or
brakes.
something.
Yeah, or more likely Need for Speed or Shift or something like that. Didn't have that problem at all, even though I was expecting it. And I like the curvy out nature of these controllers. I would love to buy this for PS3. Which unfortunately there is no PS3 version available.
So there's only a wired version,
Only a
no
wired version.
wireless version.
Comes with a 15-foot long cord.
It's a pretty
which
long
is
cord.
Good. It has the quick release thing on the end. After using wireless controllers for 5 years, the last thing on earth I want to have is a wire strung across my living room. The dog was confused. She didn't know what to do with a wire in the living room. It blew her mind. So,
but because it's wired, it also works, plugs right into USB on your PC.
Yeah.
You can use it for Street Fighter 4 for PC.
And you don't need the little dongle.
Yeah.
The start and select buttons inexplicably are down here instead of the more traditional spot. They're not really easier to get to.
Right.
I mean, they're just there.
Pure design decision, and you can also plug in a
normal headset works fine.
With the Xbox headset. So there are actually two versions of the Razer Onza. This is the $50 tournament edition.
Yeah.
So the AB, XY buttons light up, and also the cord is braided, and you have the adjustable analog sticks.
I mean, the reason to get the big one, the expensive one, the cheaper version is $40.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to use this to find out if you like it. Is the long and short version. There's no universal review for this kind of stuff.
I liked it. If you try it out and do like it, tournament edition's probably the way to go. Pay the extra $10, get the lighted
buttons and the adjustable tension.
Fancy. So that's the Razer Onza. It's on sale now. You can buy it in stores online. Tournament edition, just $50. Wow. Check it out. It's also a Razer product not named after a snake. It's named after a mythological cat.
Like the abominable snowman or the ring-tailed skink?
Exactly.
Wow. So for Test, I'm Will.
I'm Norm.
See you guys next time.
Bye.